Okay, my last video was running you through the setup of Windows 7 and VMware Workstation. Now I'm going to run you through the install after it is in VMware. So, pretty easy. One button, click install now. One button to start it. We have a few more options in here to go through. Once again, I will be pausing intermittently during loading screens if I feel that they're too long. I'll try to fill the dead air, but so at this point it should be, there we go. And I accept license terms, unless you want me to read through all this, I can do that. No, I won't do that now. Now this screen you get to if you just put the CDN and boot from it on a system that has Windows Vista or Windows XP, and you want to make sure that you have all the right drivers installed already and all the right equipment before you do upgrade. Custom, this is if you want to install a new copy of Windows. It doesn't keep the files and settings from your previous operating system, and that's what we're going to do because there was no previous one for us. And upgrade is if you wanted to do it on your computer with XP or Vista. And for this 60 gigabytes of unallocated space, we want to go ahead and format it and allocate it. Copy Windows files. So this is probably one of those screens that I'll have to pause for. It takes a little while to format the disk and everything. Obviously it would take a little bit longer on your home computer if you were installing it. Whereas with a virtual machine, it's doing it on a virtual 60 gigabytes. Which doesn't take as long because there's no so it's less going on. Alright, got the copied Windows files. Now should be expanding the Windows files and opening them up. And then after that we'll be installing them. 1%. Alright, we're about halfway through the expansion. Seems to be taking a long time, but not longer than usual. We're about 3/4 of the way done here with the expansion of Windows files. Shouldn't be too much longer. These things tend to catch up or speed up at the end. Okay, we're coming into the home stretch. Well, for expanding the Windows files. I'm pretty sure the rest of them go fairly quickly. I remember installing Windows 7 on my laptop after it broke. So okay, Windows files are expanded. The features are installed fairly quickly. Hardly had enough time to click the record button and installed the updates and finalizing the installation. Alright, now it's going to restart. Now this is pretty much all automated, so all you have to do is input information and click I agree or whatever. Microsoft makes it easy for you. Alright, starting apps back up. There are the fancy spinning orbs of light forming a Windows. Much better than the Windows 2000 server intro, if I do say so. But not as good as the music. Okay, so we're starting services. Apparently my screen's too small. What if I can full screen it? There we go. That's a little bit better. Alright, here we are at this screen again. Now it's actually fully finalizing the installation, completing the installation. As you can see from this handy status bar at the bottom, we're more than halfway finished with the installation. I think the rest of it should be personal information, setting up a backup if you want to do that, and setting up security features. But we'll be going through all of that very soon after it's done completing installation, which should be any time now, I believe. Alright, looks like our setup is going to continue after starting our computer. I just read that. So, here we go, we're starting. Back up, we're going to see the cool shiny orbs flying around in the empty black space. Alright, so looks like the setup is preparing a computer for the first use. Checking performance, probably checking my mouse and all those
Do
things.
your business.
That's my lovely grandmother in the background.
What do you think about the little bear angel up there with the star?
Okay, so here it wants me to type a username, and at the bottom it'll type a computer name for me, like that. Philip PC, and a password is recommended. And that should. Now, usually I use recommended settings to begin with because of all the updates that will come into your computer. Probably about 100 of them. So I would use recommended settings. Make sure you get everything right. And we're going to set our time or our area. Of course, we're in Tijuana. And next. And you can set up your network here, or you can set it up after you have everything set up, after you have Windows installed. If you have a home network, like your router, I would click home network, or if it's work network, you know, it has all the descriptions here, pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to use home network. So it's connecting to our network. It'll want me to choose from a list, I'm sure. And unless you're wired, then it'll automatically pick up that wired connection. Since we're going from LAN, I'll have to put in the password, and everybody will know it. I want to get on it. Okay, so it doesn't want me to connect at this point. I'll connect on the desktop if needed. Alright, now we're going to go to our home screen, our main desktop shell, in a second here. It's welcoming us with a tiny spinning circle, as is customary with Windows. Well, nowadays. Preparing a desktop, making icons. Alright, here we are at the desktop. And that is my video on the setup of Windows 7 through VMware.